Hello, dear friends, welcome to our YouTube channel, USA Football Zone, latest football highlights. For Brazil, this was not merely a defeat, it was an utter collapse at the hands of their eternal rivals. On one of the world's grandest stages, a footballing lesson was delivered from the moment the opening whistle blew. Argentina gave no quarter. They had arrived in Buenos Aires in search of a commanding victory, and they secured one in the most spectacular fashion imaginable, thereby sealing their ticket to the World Cup. It was an extraordinary performance, achieved even without Messi. A performance that loudly proclaimed to the world that the reigning champions are not merely a one-man team, but a powerful and cohesive unit, and it all began almost instantaneously, even before the ball had started rolling. The air in Buenos Aires crackled with the kind of energy that only the can generate. This was no mere football match, it was a clash of cultures, a battle for supremacy rooted in a history spanning well over a century. Since their very first encounter in 1914, this rivalry has always been defined by passion, pride, and at times sheer animosity. This very turf has gifted us legends like Pelé and Maradona, and now, it was setting the stage for an entirely new chapter, and the venue the legendary Estadio Monumental, the fortress of River Plate, with its towering stands packed to capacity with over 80,000 screaming spectators. The stadium transformed into a veritable cauldron of noise, a formidable stronghold designed to utterly engulf its visitors. For Brazil, stepping onto that pitch felt akin to stepping directly into the eye of a storm. The stakes could not have been higher. A victory on home soil would officially secure Argentina's place in the 2026 FIFA World Cup. For Brazil, it was a matter of reasserting their dominance following a period of lackluster performances. Yet, one monumental question loomed over Argentina. Could they truly face down their greatest adversary without their captain, their biggest star, Lionel Messi? The whole world was watching, wondering if the champions would stumble. Would Scaloni's meticulously crafted machine function at all without its engine? With their star-studded squad, Brazil surely sensed a vulnerability, but their assumption was wrong. What unfolded was not the story of a weakened Argentina, but rather the tale of a team that was, somehow, even stronger, a squad ready to prove that their championship-winning DNA flowed through every single player. From the moment the opening whistle blew, Argentina played with such intensity that Brazil simply could not cope. They weren't playing merely to win, they were playing to prove a point, and just 3 minutes into the match, they scored the opening goal. The attack originated from the back, executed through a series of quick, precise passes that completely sliced through Brazil's defensive line. The ball found its way to Julian Alvarez. He surged through the gap, confronted Brazilian center-back Murilo, skillfully rounded him, and effortlessly beat goalkeeper Bento to bury the ball in the net. Only 3 minutes had elapsed, yet the entire monumental stadium erupted in jubilation. This was not luck, it was the flawless and precise execution of Scaloni's game plan. Brazil was stunned, utterly shell-shocked, and before they could even catch their breath, Argentina struck again. They were not the type of team to sit back complacently on their lead. This squad was hungry for victory. Within just 12 minutes, their lead was doubled. This time, the attack came down the right flank. Playing with the confidence befitting a world champion, Noel Molina delivered a superb cross into the box. And who was there to meet it? Enzo Fernandez, arriving at the absolute perfect moment, rose to deliver a powerful header, 2-0. In a mere 12 minutes, Brazil's game plan had completely unraveled. Just when it seemed the Brazilian team was on the verge of collapse, they were thrown a lifeline. This was not a major tactical maneuver, but rather the result of a simple error and a moment of sheer audacity. Chasing down an unexpected ball, Mateus Cunha ventured deep into the Argentine half and dispossessed the usually reliable Christian Romero. Spotting Emiliano Martinez just off his line, Cunha attempted a chip shot from an incredibly long distance. The ball sailed through the air, clearing Dibu Martinez's powerful dive before crashing into the net. Suddenly, Brazil had a goal. Amidst the depths of despair, a glimmer of hope emerged. For a fleeting moment, the familiar thrill and intensity of the Superclásico returned. It seemed that a comeback was indeed possible. However, this new iteration of the Argentine squad, forged and hardened by the arduous test of winning the World Cup, is a completely different beast. They do not panic, they strike back. As halftime approached, all of Brazil's hopes of a resurgence were ruthlessly crushed. Argentina's midfield regained control, seizing absolute command of both possession and the tempo of the game. Then came the moment, that decisive moment. Following another potent attack, the ball soared through the air and dropped into the heart of the Brazilian penalty area. The instant the ball hit the ground, Alexis Mac Allister met it with a magnificent volley, sending it crashing into the net. The timing of this goal proved psychologically devastating for Brazil. Delivered just before the halftime whistle, this crushing blow handed Argentina a 2-goal lead and completely shattered Brazil's momentum. The first half was a turbulent blend of brilliant play from Argentina and sheer frustration for Brazil. Before moving on to the second half and seeing how Argentina sealed their victory, if you enjoyed this analysis, don't forget to click the subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss any future analyses of classic matches. Now, what were your thoughts on the first half? Was Cunha's goal a genuine sign of life within the team? Merely a fluke? Let me know in the comments below. The second half began with a sense of inevitability. During the break, in a desperate attempt to revitalize their squad, Brazil made 3 substitutions, bringing on young star Endrick, along with João Gomes and Leo Ortiz, but it was to no avail. Lionel Scaloni's Argentina had completely outmaneuvered Brazil with their tactics. Scaloni's strategy, renowned for its flexibility, gave Brazil's stars absolutely no breathing room. They were utterly unable to breach Argentina's tight and disciplined defense. The remainder of the match proved to be an impeccable display of game management. Argentina dictated the tempo, at times slowing the pace, at others suddenly accelerating, constantly reminding Brazil of the caliber of opponent they were facing. Their midfield was magnificent in every respect, not only repelling Brazil's attacks but also launching counterattacks. It was a different kind of dominance, the confident control of a champion who already knows that victory is theirs. Then in the 68th minute came the match's most memorable and spectacular moment. Thiago Almada, who had been tirelessly running throughout the entire match, was substituted off. Stepping onto the pitch as his replacement was Giuliano Simeone, son of the legendary Diego Simeone, a player who embodies Argentina's own, or fierce fighting spirit. Within just a few minutes of entering the fray, he found himself in the right place at the right time. Another extraordinary Argentine attack completely exposed Brazil's weary defense, and Simeone capitalized on the opportunity to score a goal that sealed Argentina's historic 4-1 victory. It was the most spectacular and decisive moment in the narrative of Argentina's unwavering dominance that night. As the final whistle blew, the entire atmosphere at the monumental stadium erupted in thunderous applause from the spectators. For Argentina, it was a moment of indescribable joy. Qualifying for the World Cup was not the only objective. They had achieved it by soundly defeating their greatest rival. This victory validated Scaloni's project as both profound and meticulously conceived. What was the greatest lesson to be drawn from this match? It was that, even in Messi's absence, the team system is the true star. Players like Enzo Fernandez, Alexis Mac Allister, and Julian Alvarez do not rely solely on their individual brilliance. They are integral components of a robust system, one that is steadfast in defense and lethal on the counterattack. For Brazil, conversely, this night served as a harsh lesson, a catalyst for deep introspection and a critical review of their errors. Their defense had completely crumbled, their midfield was overrun by the opposition, and their attack had ground to a complete halt. Cunha's exceptional individual skill was but a minor footnote amidst the team's collective failure. This defeat relegated them to the bottom of the standings, but more significantly, it dealt a severe blow to their reputation. The Brazil did not merely lose, they were tactically outmaneuvered and utterly dismantled. On the very night they needed to hold their ground, they completely fell apart. This was not merely the result of a single match, it felt like a seismic shift in power, one that was laid bare with brutal clarity. Argentina proved themselves to be a mature, multifaceted, and unstoppable force, a team capable of winning in myriad ways. Whether with or without their iconic number 10, their journey to defend their World Cup title had begun, and this performance served as a chilling warning to every other team. Thus, this was not merely a 4-1 victory, it was a declaration. It was a message from the world champions, a statement that their reign is far from over. In the electric atmosphere of the Estadio Monumental, Argentina did not simply defeat Brazil, they utterly demolished them. For the team in yellow, it was a heartbreaking and humiliating night, a bitter reminder that in football, flawless tactics and unwavering passion always prevail. It is a night that will forever be etched in memory as the moment Scaloni's Argentina cemented their status as the uncrowned kings of South America. that concludes our analysis of this historic match. What was the most memorable moment of the game? Was it Alvarez's opening goal, or Mac Allister's decisive strike just before halftime? Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section below. And if you enjoy in-depth football analysis, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating insights from the world of football. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.